Alright. What's up, Vicious fans? We have this is our third episode of Sir Raps a Lot. We have Cole. How do you pronounce your last name?
Hedgecoth.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not even gonna attempt that. I don't want to mess it up.
Fair enough.
All right. First things first. How'd you get into rapping? How long have you been rapping?
Yeah. So the first like rap song I think I heard was Eminem, and I feel like that's gonna be the story for like most kids like me. So I think it was like "Love the Way You Lie." It was like sixth grade. Heard Eminem, learned every word to it, and so from there, just kind of listened to a lot of Eminem. But then I got really into Christian rap. My parents are pastors, so that was like Christian rap was all I was listening to. So Lecrae and Eminem and all that was like how I brought up. So I've probably been rapping for shoot, I was 11, so 10 plus years, about 13 years now.
Hey, okay, that's a long while. Eminem is actually the first rapper I ever heard. That's the first rapper I ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said 11 years. That's a long time, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those like, I like to sing too, but like when it comes to like the music that I record, I don't know what it is just about like rapping that just feels more like myself.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to some of your music, and you got a kind of laid back kind of feel to it, with a little hype to it on
Yeah.
there as well. Yeah,
Amen.
good feeling. Close to rapper, I compared it to. I told my cousin was probably like J Cole. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
closest I could compare it to. So yeah, I like your song "Give Me Love." How'd you go about creating that song?
Yeah. That was I had released an album and then a Christmas song and I was just trying to get something out. And so the guy that mixes all my music, he kind of told me he was going away from doing that. So I had to get one more song in. And I don't even really remember what made me come up with that concept. I just wanted to make like a feel good spring song, something that you can just kind of throw on in the car. And wanted to kind of try out singing a little bit more, a little, try to some melodies and stuff. And so just through playing around a lot of different sounds and stuff, I think I came up with just the idea of just, give me love. It wasn't too complicated, but wanted to just have some feel good stuff for the summer.
Okay. Your music, it kind of seems like you're like telling a story, not like it all fits. It just fits. It just doesn't seem like it's like a run on. It's like telling a story. Okay, I can see this part, I see this part, I see this part. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like about your music. The Christmas song, I actually was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah.
What made you make that song? Because I mean, all honestly, I get tired of listening to the same Christmas songs each year. So I mean, it was a great song, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it actually, so I follow this artist and he was giving some advice to independent artists saying that you shouldn't release music in like November, December because it just gets oversaturated with like the Christmas market. People are only listening to Christmas music. And so I was like, why don't I try to release a Christmas song? Like that just makes sense. And I can have, stuff to promote during that time. And so when I think about Christmas, Christmas has always been kind of hard just with like seasonal depression and stuff, but I really love my nieces and nephews. And so that was kind of my muse for writing that song. But wanted to also just have something that I could promote that time of year, so I could still make music and not have to kind of be, I don't know, irrelevant, we'll say, for 2 months because that's a hard time to release music.
Okay. All right. So like, what's your biggest song you have out right now?
I think the biggest one is Good Enough. I released that in, I think, I think it was 2021, like late 2021, and it got put on a couple playlists. I've never been fortunate enough to have like a big song, but I think it's sitting at like 2,000 plays on Spotify, and I think a couple of thousand plays on different streaming platforms. So I think that's my biggest song.
Okay. So you said, so do you consider yourself a Christian rapper, or do you just consider yourself a rapper?
Yeah, that's a solid question. I definitely believe, in God and consider myself a Christ follower, but I don't think my music necessarily always talks about that. It comes from that. It comes from my faith, but I use it to like explore like my perspective on the world and stuff. So I wouldn't call myself a Christian rapper. I don't think that's the category I quite fit in. You know.
Okay, okay, okay. I can agree with that. You know, some of your stuff has has some of it in there, but not all of them. But yeah, I mean, like your song's a good vibe song. You can vibe out to that song. It's kind
Yeah.
of you got a kind of music you can listen to in the car, you know,
Yeah.
on a road trip.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah.
All right. Who are your who's your some of your biggest inspirations in rap? Like, who's your Mount Rushmore of rappers?
Yeah. Definitely got to put Kendrick up there. I think ever since I heard To Pimp a Butterfly in high school, Kendrick has just been one of my favorites. And so this whole Drake Kendrick beef has been like just really fun for me as a Kendrick fan because it was a no brainer from the beginning. But definitely Kendrick's going to be up there. I think Eminem just because that's where my roots are come from Eminem. I don't want to be like I don't want to only name modern rappers, but I think J Cole, like you said, like 2014 Forest Hills Drive definitely inspired a lot of the stuff that I do. So I think J. Cole's definitely going to be up there. And I don't know. I don't know that I have a strong. I listen to a lot of Saba. I don't know if you know who that is, but big fan of Saba and some of the stuff he has come out. So I like his flow and his cadence a lot, and I find myself trying to emulate that in my music. So that's probably the four that I think I look up to the most.
Okay. Uh, okay. What would be your dream collab with a rapper? Like, what would be a rapper you would want to do a collaboration with? Like a
Yeah,
either as like a song or an album or like
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I think that's tough because I don't want somebody to like show me up the whole time, like and make me look like I'm the weaker rapper of the two. So it'd have to be somebody that I feel like I can kind of keep up with, which would be really tough. I think it'd be really cool. Like I just mentioned Saba, but I really like Saba and some of his music, and I think he has the creative and storytelling element that I like, that I think I pull from. So I think we could make if he reached out to me, it would be cool to make like a collaborative like storytelling album, like a concept album together. I think he would be the one.
Okay. All right. Uh, what was next? So, what is the impact you want your music to have on fans and people in general?
Yeah. I think I really just want people to feel like seen and validated. I try to talk about things that I go through in life, like you said, the storytelling thing. I think that is kind of what I go for is just telling a story about things that I've been through, the things that I've seen, and so I want people to listen to it and kind of be like, oh yeah, I've been through that too, or it's just kind of those things. That's something that I always feel good about when I listen to music is oh this person's talking about something that I've been through, and so that's kind of what I want people to feel is just like they're not alone. It sounds kind of lame, but like that's the general idea. I don't want people to feel like nobody's in their corner, and that's kind of what I hope to offer.
Okay. All right. What was I gonna? Oh yeah. So to go back, kind of piggyback back on the beef with Kendrick and Drake. Do you think rappers are rapping again? Snoop Dogg said rappers are rapping again because of that beef. Do you think they are?
Yeah, I think that was one of the things too that made me really excited about that beef, um, because it felt like for a while rap kind of became pop for a little bit and people were just trying to make the next big rap song to play on the radio, but like them going back and forth, even like I'm definitely team Kendrick, but Drake had some songs where it's like okay, like we're like you said, like we're rapping now, like we're actually trying to like we're not focused on just hooks and stuff, but how do we actually like write a verse and stuff. So I would say yes, and I think it's gonna hopefully inspire this like generation of rappers to like actually make rap albums, not just like trap and pop, but like real rap albums. That's what I'm hoping comes from all this.
Mhm. What is your? If you're a Kendrick fan. What has been your favorite song from the beef?
I I think Euphoria is my favorite as far as like just the just what he says in it. But I not like us is stuck in my head all the time. The A minor line
Yeah.
I reference that I feel like every day. So that it's probably Euphoria, but not like us is a really close second.
Yeah, I like that song. That's a pretty amazing song. Do you think do you like I really didn't listen to Drake's side. So like can you talk about like what Drake songs you like or you that appeal to you?
Yeah, I think Drake's best song was Family Matters. And really, I don't know. I feel like Drake was kind of not expecting to be like I don't think he expected this to be as big of a rap beef as it ended up being. It seemed like he was pulling his punches until oh, who's getting a phone call. I think he was pulling his punches until Family Matters, and that's like the song where he really like rapped and had a lot to say. Sorry, I keep getting a phone call. And so I think Family Matters is the only one that I really liked. But I definitely don't think Drake knew what he was getting himself into from the beginning.
Yeah, because I mean, because a lot of people kind of jumped on him after a while, you know.
Yeah,
BBL Drizzy is my favorite song from the entire
yeah,
beat, so
yeah,
I like that song.
yeah. No, BBL Drizzy was getting dissed in a beat is different. That's real different.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, but
Right.
yeah, but yeah. So like, do you have any like up and coming albums or songs that you're releasing anytime soon?
Yeah, I actually have a song releasing this Friday called Younger. And then I'll have a song at the end of July called Movie Posters that I'm releasing. And I'm trying to branch into some different territories with my music. And I try to keep the summer like I try to release every summer because I feel like that's when people are paying attention to new releases. So those are the only ones I have on the docket right now, and then hope to finish up an album next year.
Okay, okay. Have you done any performances?
I haven't performed. It's probably been over a year. I don't always love performing. It's a little stressful. Just I don't know. I'm not good at remembering my lyrics all the time. And performing over a track isn't always fun. So I used to have a band, and then they got busy, and we don't perform much anymore. So it's been a minute since I performed, and I don't know that I necessarily care to do that much anymore.
Okay, okay. All right. So I have a kind of a game I like to do with the people I interview. I did it last time. Okay, so out of these two rappers, I'm gonna give you two rappers, and you have to pick which one you would rather do a feature with.
Okay.
So, let's see. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do Cardi B, and then I'm gonna do Megan Thee Stallion. Which one would you rather do a song with?
Okay. That's a tough one. I feel like my own opinion, I feel like Cardi B is a more talented like vocalist, but I think Megan Thee Stallion would have more like attraction to that. So I'd probably go Megan Thee Stallion just purely off of trying to sell records.
Okay, okay. Okay. I'm gonna do two more, and then I'm gonna have a question afterwards. All right. So, the one I did yesterday, Glorilla or Sexy Red?
um, I don't know. I haven't listened to either of the music very much. Probably go Glorilla. And I only really say that because a lot of the students that I work with really like Glorilla. So that's about the extent of my knowledge there.
All right. So my last one is you said Eminem. You're a fan of Eminem and you're a fan of Kendrick. If you had to pick one, who would you pick?
Yeah. Man, I'd probably have to go with Kendrick. I think, I got to give Eminem his flowers, and like he definitely started me out on the path. But I think Kendrick has influenced me in a way that no other artist has. And I don't think Kendrick has made a bad album at all. Like I think every album he has is a 10 out of 10. So I'd probably take Kendrick, I think.
Okay. You mentioned you're a pastor's kid. Does that affect any of the stuff you say in your music? Does that have an
Um,
effect at all?
it definitely does. I also work for a church like full time. So it definitely limits me from saying everything I want to say. I have to be a little tactful with some of the way I communicate my thoughts. I still go for it sometimes, and you'll hear some of my songs. Like I'm not afraid to say what I really feel, but I definitely can't. I can't let it all out because I have to be mindful about my job and my upbringing too. So it's tricky. But
Okay. Okay. So like, are there going there? Are there certain artists you wouldn't do music with then?
um, that's a really good question. I think maybe, but not because of like any religious reasons. I don't find myself to be a very like, I don't know, judgmental person in that regards. Like I'm cool to not have the same faith as other people. There probably are some artists that, you know, that I just think are a little weird that I probably wouldn't, but I couldn't even really think of any off the top of my head. I just, you know, music at the end of the day, you know.
All right. So what is your creative process of when you're writing your music or creating your music?
Mm-hmm. It varies, I guess, song to song. Sometimes I'll just have like a lyric in my head, and I'll kind of sit down and just flesh out what that could, how that could turn into a song. A lot of the time, I'm producing first, so I'll sit down and kind of create a beat of some sort and play around some samples and synths or whatever, and then write the song to that. So it really depends on just kind of where I'm at in my life, I guess, at that time, how that song comes to be. Most of my songs, though, have probably been beat first, and then I'll kind of write whatever goes, whatever just feels right with that song, you know.
Okay. Um, do you produce your own music or do you have a producer that you use or do you use different ones?
No, I produce all of my own music now. When I first started out and I was learning, I definitely pulled from other people. But my last, I don't think I haven't bought a beat from YouTube in a long time. So most of, I think my whole last album I produced myself. I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty much just self sufficient in that area.
Okay. Question on that. On the YouTube thing, how do you use a YouTube beat without being without the copyright, the whole thing, or yeah, somebody using copyright against you?
Yeah, that one has been tricky. I've only, I think, ever bought two YouTube beats and released the song. But each producer has different rules and stuff. So I have to buy it first. And depending on which release I buy, some of them can allow me to like release it without getting like a million streams, and that's never a worry for me. I don't have to worry about that. So it's really up to the producer. But luckily, the producers that I've bought from aren't like, you know, worried too much about copyright either. I think we're all pretty small and just trying to support each other. You know.
Okay. So who are some of the producers you've worked with through your career so far?
The main one that I go to a lot on YouTube, his name is Eerie Skies. And I usually just listen to his beats just in general because I think he's a really good producer. And every once in a while, he'll have a track that I want to buy. We've not connected a whole lot personally. It's usually all just occasional business stuff. And the other one, I actually don't remember his name, but it was very early on in like 2019. And he, like, I think I missed a window because he's now producing for like some pretty like top artists in like the Christian rap world. I don't know how he landed that, but I bought one of his earliest beats, and then he like kind of exploded and became really popular. So I think I missed that window, but I don't remember his name.
Okay, okay. So when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy of rap to consist of? What do you want
Mm-hmm,
people to remember you for?
mm-hmm. I think I think I really just want people to think of like my music and just like, I don't know. I want replay value. And I know that's kind of what every artist wants, but I think about like with Kendrick Lamar, I listen to Damn a lot, and that album will end, and then I can instantly replay it, and it doesn't affect me. Like I will listen to that album 7 times a day, and I think I want to get to a point with my music where people want to keep replaying it. Like I'm like they're listening to me all day, and so I don't know if that's how easy that is or how obtainable that is, but if people just really want to listen to my music more than just, oh, that's cool and I know him, let me support him, but like just they just enjoy good music. I just want to make good music is really all it is.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, do you think you have the type? Do you have the music? If like a movie came to you and asked you to like make a song for their movie, would you be able to do that?
That'd be a tough one. Definitely depends on the type of movie. I think I could potentially. I definitely have seen how other artists do it, and how they're able to pull off that for certain movies. So it would depend on the movie. Certain movies probably not, but I think about like Into the Spider Verse and how like they always pull from hip hop and stuff. I think I could potentially do something like along the lines of that kind of soundtrack. But it'd be a challenge for sure.
Okay. Like for like, would you be able to do like one for like a sports movie, what was I was just watching? Oh yeah, like Mighty Ducks. Would you be able to do a song for that?
I mean, man, it's possible. I think I could pull off a hype song of any sort and make it work. It would just be a little outside of what I'm used to. So I can, I believe in myself, but it would definitely be something I'd have to push myself to do. Yeah.
Okay. Could you write a theme song for a TV show? Like what? Like for like a kids cartoon TV show?
I that one might be outside of my expertise. Again, like I if I got paid a lot of money and somebody was like, I really need you to do this, maybe, but it wouldn't be great. So I probably would decline that because I don't think I could.
Okay, okay. So do you consider yourself a freestyle artist or a artist that writes or both?
Yeah, I'm pretty much only a writer. I've tried to freestyle. I've been in a couple of situations where people have wanted me to freestyle, and I just lack that ability. I don't know; it doesn't come off my head very clear. So I always need to sit down and write, and I write a lot because I don't ever want to be in a freestyle situation. It's not my talent.
Okay, okay. Uh, so who are some of the artists you've done collabs with, like done collabs with on songs and stuff?
Mhm. I've done quite a few collabs. Very few. I think I only have one collab with another rapper, and his name was Jeremy Biddles. And that was a couple years ago. The last album I released, I collaborated with quite a few of my friends. There's a young lady. Her name's Wendy Lorraine. She has a fantastic voice, and I've written some of her songs as well. And so I think we're going to collaborate again on this next album that I'm working on. I have a friend named Caleb Hall, his brother Max, their band, collaborated with them a couple of times to try to get some like different pop rap sounds. And so I have quite a few friends that are very talented musicians. They just don't rap, and so I don't have many rap friends. I do think I released one last year with my friend YCJ, very talented rapper. I honestly think sometimes he's better than me. And so we released a song last year together that I really like. And so it's few and far between when I do a feature, but I enjoy working with talented musicians.
Okay. Have you written for anyone?
The only
Like
person I've
written a
written for,
song?
yeah, the only person I've written for is Wendy. And I wrote her a song. It was called "I Don't Need You" that she released on her own. I feel like I'm better about writing. I can write pop songs for other people. I don't think I could write a rap song for somebody else because I think the way I write is kind of personal to me. But I was able to write Wendy a song that she released that I really like, and it kind of works for her and her vibe.
Okay, okay. So do you like are like so when you write so you only wrote for one person, like did you get a credit for it or like on the song?
Yeah, so I not only wrote it, but I engineered it, I released it. Like I did all of the behind the scenes work for her because she's still like starting out and stuff. So I was able to make sure that I split the royalties right. I had it, you know, published the right way. And so the business side of it gets really exhausting, but luckily everybody that I've worked with wants to make sure that that gets done correctly. And so I've been able to get the proper credits in those areas.
Okay. So you said you're better at writing pop songs. Would you write a pop album for someone?
I think so. That's my goal, especially when you know I think there's going to be a day where I stop releasing my own music. I don't know when, but at some point. But I want to transition into writing songs for other people and just being a songwriter. And I think pop is a little bit easier and quicker to come by. And so that's my goal. Working with my friend Wendy, eventually we want to come up with a pop album, an R&B album type deal for her to put out for herself.
Okay, okay. So you said eventually you would stop rapping. So there's is it safe to say there's a ceiling on your rap career or no?
I think so. I think it'll be one of those things that I always do just like for fun and for my free time and as a hobby. But I do think at a certain point, and it probably won't be anytime soon, but at a certain point, I think I'll kind of be done with the story that I'm trying to tell and just kind of decide to take a back seat. Now, if I, randomly blow up overnight, become really famous, then that's a different story. But as far as just being a super small independent artist, I do think that eventually there's a, like you were saying, there's a ceiling to what I'll keep doing.
Okay, okay, okay. So once you get to that point, do you think you could write rap songs for other rappers?
That might be something that'd be really cool to look into. And I think so. And I think I could even like, if not actually write the song, but like help other artists and like young rappers try to create, teach them how to write their own raps and stuff. I think I've learned a lot about rap music and how to do it well. And so I think I could, at a certain point, kind of offer that to other people who wanna try it out.
Okay, okay. All right. So do you think do you have do you think is your music radio friendly? Would you say it's radio friendly?
I have a couple songs that I think could definitely be radio friendly. I think my Christmas song is one of my favorites. I feel like I could definitely hear that on like a Christmas pop radio station. And I have a couple other songs that I think could get there. Not every song. A lot of songs are either not catchy enough, we'll say, or just kind of a little too personal, or I don't use the cleanest language. But I think I have a few that could definitely do that.
Okay, okay. All right. So like do you like so when you're as far as the writing part, do you like let other artists know that you write music for them, or like how does that work? Like you were saying something about royalties, so they do have to pay you to write for them, right?
It would depend. Luckily, like I'm really close with all the people that I work with, and so we don't ever do like a you pay me and I pay you this. It's more just like I was selling CDs, and so I gave a percentage to some of the artists that worked with me. When it comes to like streaming, I'll get like a percentage of the royalties. But I don't. We haven't got to the point where we need to pay each other just for doing it at all, because we're all just friends. We're just doing it kind of as a hobby and stuff. Now, if somebody wanted to that I didn't know reached out to me, wanted to work together, I would probably charge them. And it'd be a bit of a different story. But as friends, just trying to make music.
Okay, okay. So as far as the collaboration thing, have you collabed with like with you said with a band? Was that like a rock band or what kind of band was that?
So they're like a pop, kind of like a grunge pop band. It's some of my friends that I go to church with. They're brothers and they have a band. And I've always been a pretty big fan of their music just since I've met them. And so getting to kind of work with them, I worked with all three of them individually, and then we all did something group wise together. And it was a really simple collaboration. I sent them my ideas. They sent me, kind of what they wanted to do with it, and then a couple weeks later we kind of had a full fleshed out song. So it was really fun getting to work with artists that you really respect. So I really like that song.
Okay. Do you ever see yourself signing to a label as if you get bigger, or will you remain independent?
I'm definitely pro independence, but it's hard to pass up a lot of money. So if a label came to me and had a good offer, I'd definitely consider it. And if I felt like it was what was best for just my career moving forward, I think I would really struggle with not owning my songs. That's something that I really like. But again, if the right offer came along and it was productive enough for my life, I would probably do it. But if I can stay independent, that's also something that I would like to do.
Okay. So you said okay. We got 9 minutes left on this thing. All right. So you said you want to own your own music, like your own masters, right?
Yeah.
So would you sign a publishing deal for like someone to publish your music?
I probably would. Yeah, I think any of that stuff is going to just really come down to just is it the right deal? Can somebody give me the right opportunity? Can I execute well on this opportunity? I'm open to really most things in the music business, but it would be just like I said, if it's the right time and the right opportunity for me to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So for as far as like if someone presented you a contract, would you have a lawyer to read it as well, or would you be able to, decipher what they're saying in the contract and read it, be able to like read it and comprehend what they're saying yourself?
I think I definitely think I'm smart enough to look at something and kind of get the gist of it, but I know labels aren't always for the artist, and so I would probably consult some sort of legal firm about that, just in case I miss something, just in case there's something I'm not paying attention to, because I don't know that I don't trust people in the music business that much. So I'd probably go to a lawyer at some point and just get their expertise on it.
Okay, okay. Because yeah, I mean, I've seen some artists where they got signed to 360 deals. I- I literally watched a video of that deal, that specific deal, and how it was worked. And like artist that happened to Blueface, it happened to Blueface. He was in a 360 deal. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, what does the money financial side matter a lot to you? Like how much a percentage of does the money mean to you? Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah. Honestly, it's probably like a one. And I say that mostly because I'm not making any money, and I'm still doing it. And so it's not really a concern. Anytime that I sell anything, it's just my hope is to break even really, just so I don't lose a bunch of money on this. But I'm definitely not in it for the money because I'm not making hardly any of it.
Okay, okay. So from that aspect, you wouldn't be swayed by, oh, we're gonna throw this amount of money at you. You're more worried about the legal and the rights to your music.
Yeah, yeah. If somebody just threw, it'd be hard to pass up a big portion of money, but it'd be easier to say no if I felt like I was getting taken advantage of or somebody wasn't actually caring about the art and the music behind it. Yeah, definitely care more about that than the money.
Okay, okay. I like that. So I'm all for the independence. I like to ask artists would they sign or do a publishing deal or just remain independent. But yeah, because I do believe you can remain independent and blow up. It just takes a lot more
Yeah.
work than it would be under a label.
Mhm.
With that being said, would you start an independent label like what's it called? What's that Texas label that was back in the 2000s that was independent? Oh, I forgot the name of it, but yeah. Would you start an independent label for independent artists?
Yeah, I've actually thought
Good.
about that before. It's so much work when I really like started looking into it. But I've thought about it just because I know so many independent artists. If anything, I just want to continue to support, my friends and peers that are independent artists, because support, like even just reposting somebody's like music to your like Instagram and Facebook, like that goes a long way. And so that's really been more of my goal than trying to start a label at this point because that's an insane amount of work.
Okay. Uh, would you do a song with Eminem? Is that an artist you would do a song with?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like that'd be a once in a lifetime opportunity that I couldn't pass that up.
Yeah, I feel like Eminem. I mean, yeah, he says some questionable stuff, but he knows how to write. He can write
Yeah,
too. So yeah,
yeah, sure, for sure.
yeah. What is your favorite Eminem song of all time?
Of all time, I really like those first few albums from Eminem. I'd probably say just because it's nostalgic for me, I think it's probably "Love the Way You Lie," but I think that's purely just because it was one of the first rap songs I ever heard. So anytime I hear that song, it like brings me back to those first days of hearing and learning rap and stuff. But I also really like, "Till I Collapse," "Lose Yourself." It literally any of those peak Eminem songs, like I will listen to those all the time.
Okay. I like Real Slim Shady. I like that song. And
Yeah,
then I like my favorite album by him is Curtain Call. I like that one too.
yeah, yeah. That's a good one.
All right. As an Eminem fan, do you think Eminem, if Eminem was dropped into this era as a young Eminem, do you think he would survive or be canceled for some of the things he says?
Yeah, I sadly think he'd be canceled. I don't think he would have garnered the same amount of attention. I think the reason he became so popular, one, he was one of the first, not the first, but one of the main white dudes to be doing that at the time, and was saying some insane things that people couldn't ignore. But I think now a lot of people are saying some really crazy stuff, and I think he would sadly just kind of fall in the noise of it all. But yeah, I don't think he's talented, but I think he would get canceled for sure.
Okay, okay. All right. So do you like so would you so what is your favorite Kendrick album? I forgot what you had said for that one.
It's definitely probably Damn.
Okay, okay. Um, so like if a rap, so would you engage in a rap beef or would you kind of, just let them say what they're gonna say, or like what would be your response if somebody like dissed you in a song? Like what would be your response to that?
It would definitely be shocking. I feel like I'm not somebody that tries to be in conflict with a lot of people, so I would be a little confused. Um, I don't know. It depends on who it is. If it's something that I felt like was going to bring me a good amount of like publicity or whatever, I might engage, might shoot back, but I don't think I could write a diss that is like really gonna be like this big thing that people are gonna be like, oh, that's crazy. Like, so honestly, I'd probably just be ignore it and be quiet because I just don't think, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it'd be worth any of the negative attention that might be thrown my way. I'd much rather keep my brand a little more positive than whatever that beef could bring me.
Okay. If there's one producer that you want to work with, who would that be?
Mhm. I would really want to work with. That's a good question. Um, I feel like you have those um, the classic rap producers. But I don't know if you ever listen to John Bellion, but he's a songwriter and writes I feel like all mainstream pop songs. But his ability to produce is absolutely insane. I think I would probably choose John Bellion. He produces a lot for like Jason Derulo and stuff like that. But there's something about the way he produces his music and the style that he does. I think he would be my go-to first.
Okay. Would you do a song with DJ Khaled or Metro Boomin or Zaytoven? Would you do any songs with them?
I would. I actually don't. I'm not that impressed with Zaytoven almost ever. I don't know. His beats kind of feel flat to me. And so I mean, if he would, it'd be hard to pass up that opportunity. But Zaytoven would be on the bottom of my list. I'd probably go Metro first, and then I like DJ Khaled, but his music is kind of just poppy to me too. So I don't know. I Metro definitely, but the other two I could do without. It wouldn't be that big a deal to me.
Okay, okay. Well, that's it. Thank you for the interview. Do you need a copy of the interview or would you like a copy of the interview?
You're gonna post it on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I should be good. Then I'll share the link and stuff from there, but I should be good.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
No problem.